Welcome to our Talk to Me Thursday live. Listen, happy Thursday, y'all. If you are new here, I am Chastity Grady at Grady Tax Plus. It is my number one goal to make sure that we are keeping the IRS out of your pockets so that you can live a better life. Why? Because you deserve it. And so, part of what we do on Thursdays is that on Thursdays we are talking about all things, any type of tax topic or business or finance topic that has come up over the week. And so yesterday, if you saw my live from last night, then you saw that yesterday is when we did the Understanding Small Business Taxes training. And with that Understanding Small Business Taxes training, a lot of different questions came up. Someone I was meeting with today, one of my clients, and she was confused about um, when it comes to the business finances, how to calculate paying yourself, right? How to calculate paying yourself. And for anybody who's gone through the Understanding Small Business Taxes training, you would have learned that depending on your business structure would determine how you pay yourself. It would determine how much to pay yourself. It would determine a whole lot of things, right? Just based off your business structure. That's why it's very important to know how your business is structured. When I say structured, is your business an S corp? Are you in a partnership? Are you just an LLC or a PLLC? Are you a DBA, independent contractor, whatever you want to call yourself, right? When you understand how your business is structured, then you will know how you go about paying yourself, right? And there won't be any confusion. Like I said, the confusion only comes in when you don't know. And so I'm going to talk briefly about the common ways to pay yourself so that you don't be confused about your business finances, so you can understand how to keep your business finances organized, especially for tax filing, y'all. I mean, we're in the tax, listen. We are in the tax season. Tax season has started officially as of Monday, January the 26th. That's when the IRS opened up their e-systems to start e-filing, right? And many of you, you're starting to trickle in. You're starting to uh, realize that, oh, January is about over. We're moving into February, right? And so you're get ready to start filing your tax returns with us. And so when it comes to like the business finance piece, understanding, getting some clarity about your business finances, I want you to get at least clarity on this one thing. I'm only going to talk about one thing. There's many things we can talk about, but for the sake of the live, the time I have to spend on this live, I'm just going to talk about one aspect, which is paying yourself, right? And so if you are a DBA, if you're an independent contractor, if you're an LLC, if you're a PLLC, you pay yourself the same way, okay? And that is, you just do a transfer. You do a transfer from your business account to your personal account. You write yourself a check from the business account to your personal account. You can Zelle yourself, Venmo, however you want to do it, but you just do a transfer, right? Oftentimes I keep hearing people saying, oh, I need to set myself up on payroll. How do I set myself up on payroll? You don't get to set yourself up on payroll if you are one of those entities that I've named. So being a DB, having a DBA, just a LLC, just a PLLC, and even if you're an independent contractor, you don't get to set yourself up set yourself up on payroll when you are those entities, because the IRS does not, you're recognized as disregarded, right? You're recognized as disregarded. So your net profit that you make in your business, so when you make your money, the revenue minus your expenses, that's your net profit. The net profit is considered part of your pay. Whether you actually pay yourself all of what's left over or not, that's on you. But according to the IRS, you have access to all of those funds. So that's technically your pay. So that's why you have to pay taxes on that full net profit, because that's technically your pay that you're paying taxes on. Whether or not you use the money or not is irrelevant. It's still your pay. And so when you actually want to pay yourself, you just do a transfer. I like to have things structured. When it comes to business and running business, it's better to have structure. That's why understanding your personal budget is important. Y'all know I'm going to always bring up personal budget, knowing what your personal budget is. But when it comes to paying yourself, treat yourself just like you would be treated on the job. If you were only getting paid once a month on your job and you were functioning with that, then do once a month. If twice a month is your thing, or every 2 weeks or once a week, whatever the pay schedule is, pick one pay schedule and run with it and use that pay schedule consistently, right? Use it consistently. Don't be someone who's transferring money every day, multiple times a day because you just needing money, and you don't even know how much money you're living off of because you just keep transferring. I was talking to someone, was it yesterday or the day before? We were talking about how she just always just transfer money, just keep transferring money into her personal account. Whenever her personal account was getting low, she just kept transferring. And that's not how you do things, right? Because you don't want to, what you don't want to do is get accustomed to living your life a certain type of way because you got used to just having a certain amount of money that you didn't even know that you had because you just was transferring and you're not keeping track of it. So going back to that personal budget, and let me go ahead and grab the link while I'm here. When it comes to the personal budget, you want to know how much do it cost me to live in a month. When I know how much it costs me to live in a month, then I can decide how much the business should pay me. I'm putting a link in the comments for y'all. Then I can decide how much the business needs to pay me. If my personal budget says to cover all my needs, my wants, and my desires is $5,000, then I only need to transfer $5,000 either once a month, $2,500 twice a month, or 1,250 or whatever amount every week to get to the 5,000. That's all you would need to do, and then you live your life based off of that. And just because your personal account may be getting low, that don't mean you transfer the money. If you were working for an employer, you wouldn't be able to just take money out of the employer's bank account to replenish your account just because your personal account got low again. No, you would have to wait until you get paid again. You would have to wait until you're able to pay yourself again based off the schedule that you set, right? So that's, if you can just master that one aspect of your business, then you will be one step closer to having the structure you need, being able to successfully pay yourself, making sure you're not bankrupting the business, and having that order that you need and have clarity, right? That's the main thing, having that order, having that clarity, being consistent. And that's the one thing I would say that is confusing, that the question that I keep getting oftentimes that's confusing about business finances is how much do I pay myself from the business, right? So just to recap before I end the live, you want to make sure you understand your personal budget. So I put the link in the comments for you to download the free personal budget tracker. When you download that free personal budget tracker, you're going to put in all the expenses. And once you put in all the expenses, you're going to see how much you need to live in a month, right? How much do you need to live in a month? Now, there is going to be a section on that personal budget tracker for your income. If you work a W-2 job, then go ahead and fill that in. So let's say you work a job and your job is paying you X amount, then go ahead and put that amount in every month. And if there's some left over, so the spreadsheet is going to automatically calculate what it needs to calculate, and it's going to say this is the remaining left over, like you need an additional, I don't know, $500. And if that's the case for you, then you just have it set up to where your business pays you that $500 a month. Okay. Well, what do you do with the rest of the money? You just store it up. You store it. Let your business bank account store the money or store it in a money market account. Let it build up, because guess what? If you ever have an emergency, if you ever were laid off, or if you want to fire your boss one day, that is the money that's going to fund you as you are taking off in your business full time. That's the money that's going to fund you as you are taking off in your business full time, right? I mean, let's think about it. If let's say your net profit in your business was always 5,000, I'm just throwing out a number. Let's say it was always $5,000, and let's say you have a 5 or 6 month goal to fire your boss, right? Well, if you do 6 times 5, that's $30,000 that you could just store up, right? If that you can just store up. This would be for you if your full-time job can fully support you personally. You don't really need extra money, right? Then you just store that money up and you have that money for when you're ready to quit. And tomorrow on Friday, we'll be doing our Fire Your Boss Friday live. So I'll go deeper into the conversation on tomorrow, but I just kind of trying to give you a little clarity on today. And so yeah, and then if you are full time in business and your budget says, hey, you need this amount to live, then you got to compare. You got to compare and see, does my business even have this amount to support me? Or maybe it do, but maybe I can't pay money in taxes. Or maybe I can't save money, or maybe I can't invest because it's a little tight. That's why you have to look at the personal budget. And I know when you think about business, you're not necessarily thinking about your personal side of things, but it's important because at the end of the day, you went in business to make money for yourself. Yes, you want to make impact in other people's lives, but also that comes with monetary gain, right? That comes with monetary gain. And so you got to know how much of the monetary gain that you get to have. And it's always going to go back to the personal budget. I'm always going to, when somebody asks me, how do I determine how much to pay myself? I'm always going to refer back to, well, how much do you need to live in a month? That's what I'm always going to revert back to. So just get in the habit of being okay with uh, looking at your personal budget. I know it's a lot that goes on personally, but that's why we got to track it. Just take, an hour to go through your bank statement and look at everything that you spent in a month and see, okay, this is how much. You know what? You might realize that, oh, I didn't realize I was spending so much money in this area. I didn't realize I was spending so much money in that area. And you might be able to cancel some of your subscriptions and save some money in your own personal pocket by doing so, right? But we got to face it. We got to face our personal budget. We got to face it. Don't run away from it, because that's going to impede. It's going to impede your financial success in your business. Okay. So if you enjoyed this live, definitely give me a like. Like the video, share the video out for someone who needs clarity about understanding their business finances and how to pay themselves. Because we are in a tax season, we are actively, well, let me say this, we file taxes year round. So whether it's a season or not, it doesn't matter. We file taxes year round. But this is the active season that everybody is focusing on filing in. And if you are someone who you are interested in working with me and you want to learn more about my services, in the comments there's a link to sign up for our free informational session. Our next one is coming up on February the 4th. That's actually next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So you can go ahead and sign up, and you can learn more about working with me, learn about my all of my services, my tax services, bookkeeping. If you have issues with the IRS, learn about our processes. I'll do some screen sharing and showing you the back end of things. Like once you sign up, this is what it looks like and the steps that you would take. And you just answer any tax or business finance questions that you may have. So the link is in the comments. Not schedule, but go ahead and sign up for that February 4th. We also have other dates. The other dates are February the 18th, March 4th, March 18th, and April 1st. So they're every 2 weeks. But like I said, the next one is February the 4th. Okay, next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I would love to be able to serve you on this upcoming tax season. Although we do primarily work with business owners, we do also work with individuals and families as well. If you are someone who's an individual and family and you're like, I really want to work with you, I hear your voice, you resonate with me, and I want to work with you, right? You can sign up for the free informational session. Also, if you're interested in my pricing, you don't have to wait to go to the informational session to know how much I charge for anything. Everything is on my website. On my website that's beautifully designed by none other than myself. A lot of people have been giving me a lot of compliments about my website, and listen, I spent a lot of time getting that website together. So I'm thankful for the compliments. So yes, you want to go ahead and go to my website, visit my website. I put the website in for my tax services page, and you can review all the fees that it costs to work with me, depending on uh, your tax situation, depending on your level that you have going on. Whether you're a business owner, if you're an S corp, if you're a partnership, you do have to schedule them. You'll see the price, but you can't sign up for that on my website if you're a partnership, because I'm very selective of who I work with when it comes to partnerships. So you'll have to talk to me to make sure that we're a good fit for each other when it comes to a partnership. And you'll see that link on my website to schedule an appointment with me if you are a partnership. Okay. So as I end the live, I'm gonna give you my benediction. So uh, many of you who follow me, you know that I'm a believer. I'm a follower of Jesus. And in the book of John, chapter 10, the Jews, they were questioning. They were questioning him. They were like, "Listen, how long are you gonna keep our soul in suspense? If you are the Christ, just tell us. And Jesus responded, he said, I told you, but you do not believe me. The works I do, they testify concerning who I am, but you do not believe me because you are not my sheep. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me, and they shall by no means perish. And no one shall snatch them out of my hand. The Father who gave them to me, no one shall snatch them out the Father's hand. I and the Father are one. It's my mission. Ultimately, it's my mission to make sure that anyone who comes in contact with me, that you get a taste of who Jesus is. You get a taste of who it is that's the leader of my life. All right. So that's why I give y'all the benediction every live that I'm doing, because I don't know who's gonna watch this live, and I don't want you to miss hearing the word. And so, although we talked about, when I said, hearing my voice, if you hear my voice, then connect with me, follow me, work with me. However, ultimately, if you hear Jesus's voice, if you hear His voice, whether that's through me or through somebody else, then follow Him, right? Follow Him, and you like the word said, you shall by no means perish. All right. So that will complete today's live. I'll be back for Fire Your Boss Friday. I'll likely do the live earlier than I will have done today. Have more time to spend with you because I actually had to do a really quick live on today. And thank y'all for all this week. Thank y'all for this week tuning into all the lives that I've been doing all this week. And I will see you in the next one.